Okay, once again, welcome to the course. This will be our formal lecture, but it can be considered a review of your knowledge about computer organization. So the purpose of this video is to run through the different topics or concepts that you have or that I'm expecting you to learn already. So I have to just recall this one as we transition to the new lecture about operating systems. So I consider this lecture 1.0. So that's your assignment. So I'm expecting you to answer that one in due time. And so as of now, maybe you already know about CPU cycle. So I want you to learn about this one that there is what we call fetch, decode, execute cycle of our central processing unit. So if you will look at the diagram, um, we can start at the RAM. There's an information at the random access memory that to be fetched, and the control unit will decode, and it will be executed by arithmetic and logic unit and stored back on the RAM. So if you can see, you have a background about this one, that there is a process of fetch, decode, and execute or store, or fetch, decode, and execute in your uh, CPU. This is an important concept for you to understand the processes within the CPU and the interaction between different components of the central processing unit. Okay, so another perspective about this about it is the computer organization. So in this diagram, I'm not sure if this is very visible to all of you. You already know about what are the components here. We have the control unit, the data path, the ALU, and the register. So, and there is what we call a common bus, or the bus itself, which contains the data or carries the address, data, and control. So we have, and it is connected to the memory, the output units, and the input units. So these are basic knowledge about the connection between the the components of your computer, or how your central processing unit is being organized. So at this point, you have an idea that, for instance, if an input, an arrow, take note of that, an arrow going to the common bus, or we can imagine this as a wire. We have input from a common bus, and uh, this input might need data from the memory, so it will be, or it could go directly to or capture the instruction under the control unit, and the arithmetic logic unit might do something about the information. It will go back to the bus or going to the memory again and display it as part of the output, or you can imagine that on your screen. Then this is another representation of an easy representation of your CPU. You have an input, and within you, after capturing the input, we have the arrow might be going to the arithmetic and logic unit. The arithmetic and logic unit might access data from the register, and might also going into the main memory, and the main memory will feed again the information from the arithmetic and to the arithmetic and logic unit, and it might be displayed into the output, while the control unit also, these are we can consider this as like a traffic light, where everyone is referring to them to move, or they are the one. If you've observed that the majority of the major components are actually connected to the control unit, because the function of the control unit somehow is to direct every component to function at the same time. There is a time component of the control unit that synchronize every activity for each of the major components. So the definition of the control unit, maybe you can scan it somewhere, but that's the general idea as of now, so that we can proceed and understand, appreciate really the operating systems and some part of the computer organization.